Cryptocurrency, DeFi, NFTs, if that sounds confusing, the BitLab Academy is here to help. We make it simple. Start investing in crypto, learn trading fundamentals, and how to make money with NFTs. Join our community today. Crypto for beginners, taught by the pros.
Welcome to Rice TVX. You've just tuned in for the newest episode of the Rice Crypto Show. Today I am joined by Ben Nolan. He is the founder of Voxels, formerly Crypto Voxels, a virtual world that is built on Ethereum. Before we get into it, visit ricetvx.com and sign up for my mailing list so you never miss an update or new Rice TVX content. You will also find my various social media links and more. You can also find Rice TVX on Odyssey and Library, where I have a full catalog of my videos, post up extra content, and share other appearances. And you can also find Rice TVX on BitChute. To support Rice TVX directly, you can contribute or send tips to PayPal, to Cash App, or cryptocurrencies via my Cointree link in the video description. Everything is appreciated. Another way to support what I do is by joining my Patreon channel, where you will get early access to some of my videos, exclusive content, and more. I will include links in the video description for everything I just mentioned, as well as everything shared on today's video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me on today's show is the founder of Voxels, formerly Crypto Voxels. I am joined by Ben Nolan. Ben, I appreciate you coming on the show. How you doing today?
Yeah, really good, man. It's really nice to be here.
Well, and I do appreciate you accepting the invitation. I know this isn't something that you normally do. We schedule this out in advance, so I do appreciate Kim for helping to set this up. I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about Voxels. I guess before we get into that, though, do you mind kind of giving a really brief explanation, background as to who you are and how you got into crypto?
Yeah, so my name's Ben Nolan. I'm down in New Zealand, and I've been doing virtual worlds for a really long time. I'm really big into virtual worlds, and then I got into crypto kind of early, but didn't buy any. Just kind of like thought it was really cool tech, but didn't really see anywhere to go with it, like what I could do with it. And then I've been doing virtual worlds, and they never really went anywhere. And then one of the things that I kind of came across is that when you do a virtual world, you've got lots of buildings in it that you go explore, and you kind of want to have an ownership record for it. And if that ownership record of the building that you own or the part of the world that you own, in the real world, like a real estate deed is a massive fucking deal. You know, it's stored in a fucking council office and it's all very proper. If I just had a record in my MySQL database on my $5 a month hosting account saying that you own this thing, do you really own it? It doesn't really mean anything. So I never really went any further, and I kind of shut down my virtual world stuff. And then a year or two after that, this is about 5 or 6 years ago, I came across a thing called pixelmap.io, which was like the $1 million homepage on Ethereum. And you could buy a pixel for 1 Ether, and the person that deployed this contract must have hard coded it because they couldn't change the price per pixel. So by the time I found it, it was kind of unaffordable to buy pixels because, you know, it was like $2 or $3. Obviously now it doesn't work at all. But I saw that and I was like, hey, wow, they're storing that ownership record of which pixel you own on the blockchain. And it instantly just connected to me that, do not disturb. It just instantly connected to me that you could use that to do this ownership record of the part of the metaverse you owned. And like, I can't sell this in a really compelling way, but the fact that if you own a parcel in Voxels, it's stored on the blockchain rather than, you know, me saying it's you. Like, it's fucking Vitalik says you own that part of the world, not me. And that was a really big difference. And that was the bit where I went all in on crypto. I was like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. And so bought the little bit of Ether that we bootstrapped this entire business with, and then you know, deployed it was a really early version of the NFT contract, ERC721. And then we just started doing that. And then I worked on it part-time for, I don't know, like a year or two. And then I got to the point where it was making like 10 grand a month and I could work full time. And then, yeah, and now there's like 21 of us. And yeah, it goes really well. And so that's kind of the whole journey in it. And like my earliest interactions with crypto, there's a great Bitcoin talk forum post that I like to look up occasionally where I was arguing with a guy because I was going to buy 100 Bitcoin and he wanted $91 for 100 Bitcoin and I wanted to pay $87, and we went backwards and forwards. And for the sake of $4, I was like, no, get fucked, I'm not buying it. which would have completely changed my life, obviously.
Yeah, that's one of those. We all have these stories of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and if we dwell on it, man, I think it would bring us to the brink of depression. So chalk it up as a
Yeah.
lesson learned, I guess. But
Yeah, and it was a really good lesson just in terms of, the downsides to crypto, like, the people that are sitting there, feeling awful about fucking this random decision they didn't make. And so I'm always really aware of that, you got to stay humble in this space.
right, 100%. Now you mentioned that you were involved with the virtual reality worlds and technology before crypto. What made you decide to ultimately utilize blockchain technology? Because it seems like there's a lot more flexibility for growth using central servers.
So we do use central servers. So all the content in Crypto Voxels, and when you connect to our server and all the other users that you see, that's all just done off traditional infrastructure. We run a whole bunch of CDNs and stuff, like content delivery networks, so that everything loads quickly around the world. All of the content that you go to from Crypto Voxels loads slower than I'd like, but it's still pretty fast because everything you loads 20 milliseconds, 400 or 500 kilometers away from you in a computer somewhere around the world. And so we don't use blockchain for that. All of that's just traditional servers. But the important stuff, who your identity is, what you own, what you wear, the art that you display, that's all stored on the blockchain. And that's the crucial thing, I think, to me. Like Decentraland is a lot more decentralized than us. They've kind of got multiple nodes and systems, and kind of it's all open source. And we replicate our data onto Arweave, which is a blockchain for storage. But yeah, we're sort of semi-central. Like the important things, which I think is people's identity, their sovereignty, and what they own, is on the blockchain. But most of the stuff's just a fucking normal website.
And well, and I appreciate you explaining that, because I mean, when I start looking into like video content sharing platforms and the idea of decentralization, you can't have a truly decentralized project like that. And then when I started thinking about metaverse and blockchain, I really didn't think that you were going to have a lot of true decentralization. There's going to be decentralized aspects, and there's going to have to be centralized aspects because of the data. Because as far as I know, there's not really any blockchains that can really handle the data of a metaverse. I mean, even though BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, claims they could, I still don't know for sure. So I find that interesting.
I think you could do a fully decentralized blockchain now, decentralized metaverse that was just on the blockchain. It'd be extremely hard to do the peer-to-peer real-time networking, seeing where other people was. But in terms of data storage, in terms of serving it off IPFS or Arweave or DAT or some kind of system like that, it's definitely doable. I don't know, maybe someone will do a really kick-ass decentralized distributed blockchain metaverse, runs on the blockchain, runs on these decentralized systems, and it'll be compelling. I want to get there eventually, but I'm not going to go and build something right now which is fully decentralized just for the sake of sitting on a fucking mathematically perfect hill. We're gonna keep decentralizing and distributing and our software and embracing, blockchain technologies. I know it make me sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but like literally, append only logs as they make sense. But and I'll be stoked if someone comes out with a kick-ass one. But my friend Nick, man, he did from Substrata, he did like a peer-to-peer metaverse in 1999 called Digital Sunlight Project. And like we talked about this when we were fucking 19, 20 years old. And it's an amazing kick-ass thing. And he's in the metaverse now and he's building good stuff. And it's centralized as fuck. So if he's not doing a peer-to-peer one, shout out to Nick. I assume there's reasons that there aren't any super compelling, purely decentralized peer-to-peer metaverses yet. Although I do agree that it's probably, I don't know, like, sorry, I don't know if I went off topic here, but like the internet, like the web isn't really peer-to-peer. It's just fucking servers and shit. I actually think that's a perfect infrastructure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not politically super decentralized distributed, because I don't see it'll make a better experience for the users, and it won't make your data safer. It won't give you any more ownership. And that's the things I want to get out of blockchain, is ownership and sovereignty for users.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Why did you guys end up ultimately, I guess, rebranding to Voxels versus keeping the name Crypto Voxels?
Because I saw the voxels.com domain for sale, and I emailed the dude like 30 times, and I was about to drop a price to him. And then that same day, he was like, I will not sell it for less than this amount. And I was like, this is way less than I was going to offer you. So yes, I will take
nice.
that. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But yeah.
Well, that's cool that it worked out for you.
Yeah, and it's a cool domain, and it's shorter to type. And the reason that probably one of the big reasons is we've lost 3 or 4 awesome people that are really good friends of mine that I convinced to come work here because they just can't handle the crypto aspect. Like all the bad sides to crypto, they're just like, it's made them leave. And there's so many people that I ring up and I say, hey, I'm from Crypto Voxels, and they're like, get the fuck out of here and never talk to me and my daughter ever again. Like it's just get instantly blocked by so many people because he's got crypto in the name. And so I was like, oh, Voxels will be better, but we're still in NFTs. And now so people look at our website and they're like, oh look, your parcel's an NFT, get fucked, you're a scam merchant. And I'm like, get fucked, man. Like I just I did that to make it easier to contact people, but it doesn't fucking matter. So I like the name because it's shorter. We're still way in on crypto, but I like Voxels as the name is shorter, and I'm just sticking to cryptos and NFT. There's no way we can disguise it. This tech's amazing. It's amazing for users. There's a whole bunch of scammy shit around it. There's a whole bunch of scammy shit on the internet. Don't fucking tar us all with that brush.
Yeah, oh, I agree. But why are you getting like? Why do you personally feel there's so much negative sentiment when it comes to crypto and blockchain when with the people that you're dealing with?
My friend Marcus for Punk Office in Melbourne, he's doing the sales thing on me. So I've been like learning to do sales stuff so I can convince people that, when I talk to people and they're like, oh, fuck NFTs, I can bring my, oh, why do you feel that way? Oh yeah, we see those problems too and we change them. So that's what I'm going to try and do. But my real feeling is if you don't fucking believe in NFTs and blockchain, or if you just fucking read some shit about washed up fucking sports stars selling shit NFTs to people and scamming old ladies, okay, and you're going to tar me with the same brush because we use that technology for user sovereignty, get fucked. I don't give a fucking thought what you fucking think about this shit. That's not what we're going to do anymore. I'm going to be all like, no, let's embrace fucking NFTs and here's the good bits and what are the bad bits and this is what we're trying to do. But my internal feeling away from the sales pitch is like, this tech's amazing. I love that it isolates all these, like 90% of fucking programmers out there just think that we're fucking scam merchants. And that is amazing because it means they don't come and compete with us. That's why there aren't 30, 70 good blockchain metaverses because all these fucking idiots think that it's a scam. It's not a scam. It's amazing technology. Polygon's really fast. It's fucking zero carbon. It's like user sovereignty. It's all this shit that we've always wanted. And I'm totally happy that 90% of developers think it's a scam because it means they don't compete with us, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, like I was just reading an article about Square Enix where they had like $300 million profit from their fiscal year that just ended March 31st. And they're reinvesting a lot of that profit in what they're saying is their focus fields, which are blockchain, AI, and cloud. So, I mean, these things are definitely, I feel when it comes to gaming, metaverses, virtual reality, augmented reality, music, and all these different things, I feel that those three components, blockchain, AI, and cloud, are going to be very, very important for the infrastructure in the future. And a lot of things are going in that direction. So with the rise of metaverses, especially with Facebook converting their name over to Meta and all the talk of virtual reality, and then all the talk about virtual reality on the blockchain, what do you feel like separates Voxels from not only blockchain related projects, but just VR in general?
Man, that's a big question. I want to build. I didn't for a while there. I completely forgot why I wanted to do this. I was just excited that we're making fucking mad bank. But what I really want to build, and what I realized when all our fucking sales collapsed and the whole community was like, you fucked this up. And I was like, yeah, I fucked this up. What I really want to build is a good metaverse with good tech that uses all the best parts of blockchain around user sovereignty, around owning your own stuff, about it not being at the whim of a company, but it's guaranteed, what you've got is what you've got. I really want to use that to do good stuff for the internet. Like I just want to build the best version of a metaverse. And when I say the best version for me is one which respects users, that's really easy to get into, it's really accessible. It's not going to be the best looking one. We can't do that with our fucking graphics choices, and because I'm a shit graphics programmer. Like
you're pretty brutally honest with yourself here, aren't you?
Well, it's just like I want to build an honest, good metaverse with good tech, and I want it to be compelling, and I want it to grow, I want it to be kick-ass, but I don't want to sell out for the sake of being the biggest metaverse. I don't want to sell out for the sake of fucking making the most money. I want to build something really, I don't know, something that feels to me honest, technically good, a good product. I want a good product that looks like, my only three things I know about Voxels is I want to build an excellent product, I want to look after the people in the world, and I want to look after the people that build the product. And That's what I want it to be. And anything else that comes out of that, that's a rad bonus. And we have to be competitive and we have to fucking make money so that we can, do cool stuff and hire awesome people. But like, that's not the end goal. And I totally forgot that in the last 6 months ago when we're fucking making mad bank. And I'm glad that I've remembered why I got into this, and so.
Well, dude, what I want to say, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you being honest about, letting we all get off track with things and lose focus. So for you to recognize that and then even publicly acknowledge it and notice that it was something that you needed to realign yourself with, I mean, I get it because when you're in a company like this, I mean, I've seen the back end on the guys who run Splinterlands. I saw where that company grew from just a couple guys in Philly and some other people working worldwide to now they can't even handle the business that's coming in because there's so much excitement about this. And then you're getting all these different offers with lots of money from institutions and things like that. And sometimes it's hard for people to turn that down. And then you start losing sight of why people build things in the first place. So it's good that you got back to that, man. And I appreciate you sharing that.
I think Facebook built a really good product at the start. I think 2007, 2008 era Facebook, where it just connected to your friends and there was no algorithms. It was just posts from your friends and there was not many ads and it was just kind of good vibes. I think that was a really good thing. They built something awesome. And if they'd kept building something awesome, it'd be a great fucking service for the internet. But everything got warped in the pursuit of dollars. And I want to build a good version of Crypto Voxels. I want the graphics to be way better. I want it to load way faster. I want it to be way more fun and way more fulfilling being in the world with other people.
I like it though. I mean, I know that there could be a lot of room for improvement, but I interviewed a friend of mine, Mike Salvi, and I was telling you about he created the very first comedy store, a comedy club in the Metaverse. He created the Comedyverse, and I went to check this out. I kind of like the Minecraft type vibe of the kind of 8-bit look.
Yeah, so do I, and I like it too. But so what I want to do is I want it to be better and better and better and better. But I want it to get better. I don't want it to make more money. Like that's the thing is I think that's the difference. Is like I do want it to make more money. That'd be fucking great. We can buy more shit and more plants for the garden and fucking a bigger stereo for downstairs. And we've already done amazingly. But I want the goal is that we build the best metaverse that's good for the users, that loads fast, that looks nice, that the tech keeps getting better. And then when people leave or something else happens, we just keep building. We don't go and, oh, fuck, let's make it addictive. Oh, fuck, let's measure everyone. Oh, fuck, let's sell their data. Oh, fuck, let's track people. Oh, let's have add-ons. Oh, let's fucking do whatever so we can keep the money going. Like, I just want to make the product better. And if the money comes, that's cool. And we'll always be profitable and we'll always exist. So we can fucking do this forever. But the goal is to build a really awesome version of this metaverse. And if we make money from it, like make mad bank, that's a sweet bonus. That's kind of where I'm at. And so we don't have a token and stuff like that. I don't know. It sounds bullshit. And I totally forgot that 6 months ago. But that's what I actually want to do. That's what I enjoy. Like when I do the CEO stuff, like I was talking to my PA because she just quit. She's quitting soon. And Kim, who you talked to, and she was like, I was like, those weeks that you lined up where I just had back-to-back meetings and I did CEO stuff a week, that was amazing. So fucking everyone was lined up, had all the intro, I knew exactly how to do it. And she said, and you fucking hated it. And I was like, yeah, I fucking hated it. It's like, I hate being a CEO. I have to be the CEO because I think I'm the best to run this company. But what I actually want to do is code. I actually want to look after the people in the company. I want to talk to people. I want to talk to people in the world. I want to work out how we make this better. I don't want to fucking be a big businessman for the sake of it. I want to build a kick-ass world. Like this world here, it needs better lighting. This is fucking cool. But once we add the better lighting that I've got on my computer over there, it's going to look really kick-ass. Higher textures on the bricks and bump maps and stuff like that. Just lots of small improvements that just make it a better and better world and won't really necessarily make us more money, but will make existing builds look better. We'll make it better for the people that own in the world. We'll make it better for the people that explore the world. And that's my vibe. And that's what I want to do.
Cool. Well, so let me ask you this, like the way that I'm looking at this and the way that you've explained things to me, Mike Salvi created this and he owns this and he has access to it because he has his private keys and things like that. But as far as the centralization would go, this information is stored on a server. Do I understand that correct?
Yeah, so this is stored on our server, central database, and then it's replicated to a content delivery network, which is edge nodes all around the world. So people use CloudFront. We use a different one from Switzerland. So the servers all around the world, so it loads close to you. And then also all his data is also replicated onto a system called Aweave, using a system that's third party to us at the moment. So Aweave is like an append-only blockchain, keeps a record of all the content in the world. So if for some reason if there's a huge earthquake in Wellington right now, and we're at this entire company and everyone the building was destroyed with all of us, all the data is replicated onto another blockchain, and it would suck because it would be really hard to bring everything back up, but it does exist outside of us. We don't load from ARWeb, but all of the content's mirrored to it, which I think is that's kind of important.
Okay, that's cool, and I appreciate you explaining it. So also, I'm assuming, and I gotta make sure I'm asking this so people understand, if someone was to build their own whatever on crypto, on voxels, like how Mike Salvi did, and someone else that I'm going to be mentioning with the Crypto Cannabis Club, because they created a dispensary in voxels, can anybody pretty much create whatever they want with no limitations except for what's limited by the code?
Yes, so the graphics engine is, you can build whatever. So we have a code of conduct in terms of use, which says it has to be safe for work content. Like, it can't be straight out porn, it can't be violence. I don't think we let people hold guns in their hands. So we've got a couple of rules like that. A big part of that came from if we allow porn, then you have to pay people here, or like rooms full of Filipino people, to look at all the images on your site and say, oh, that's porn and that's horrific abuse, and that's porn and that's horrific abuse, and then decide what's okay and what isn't. I didn't want to pay someone to do that. So we just say, you can't have porn in the world. It makes it easier to host. It makes it easier to get on app stores. It means we don't have to pay people to look at porn all day, and it's not looking at porn. It's fine. It's looking at horrific abuse imagery and saying, oh, fuck that's, and then delete it from the world and then try and block the person. Like, I don't want any of that shit. And there are other metaverses where you can just do full on porn, and that's cool. Like, I don't think the Decentraland has rules around that. I don't know what the rules on the other ones are. I'm not anti it. It's not something we wanted to do. So our terms are, it's got to be safe for work. But there's one of my favorite things that happened. There's a guy that had a page for his favorite cam girl. Mine was like, clearly porn. I was like, oh, hey, can you remove that image? It's a bit much. We'll just, pixelate it, blur it out or something. And he's like, oh, yeah, sweet as. And there was someone else in the room with us, in the virtual room. And he was like, you can't do that. It's censorship. And the owner of the pastor was like, no, it's cool. I understood the rules. I was like, yeah, sorry, it's just the way it is. No, that's not fair. There are nipples in the world. I'm like, yeah, man, like, nipples are art. Like, we go by European rules. This is not America where you're allowed to shoot people with guns, but you can't show a boob. It's like European rules. And so he's like, look at all these. And so he spent the next 12 hours going through the world, taking photos of every single nipple he could find in a different gallery, and then posting it to the front page of Crypto Voxels. And I was like, this is my favorite thing that's ever happened. And the other people in the team were like, fuck, we got to do something with this. I'm pretty sure Nipple Guy will run out of energy. And like, full props to Nipple Guy. He went for 12 hours finding every. And the thing is, it was all artistic nipples. It was like beautiful men and women's forms and like marble things and like crazy tattoo art and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's all amazing art with nipples. Like, what the fuck are you trying to prove here, bro?
That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Now, I didn't even know this because I had just heard this news about this Crypto Cannabis Club dispensary earlier today. And I meant to pull the article up before the interview, but I pulled it up literally before the interview as I was talking to you. But it mentions here that Crypto Cannabis Club dispensaries in Voxels is a recent example that even lets California residents actually order cannabis.
It's a little bit of a ruse, because we don't have an economy in world, so you can't actually sign transactions or pay for anything in world. So they advertise, I think, what their dispensary does, but to actually do the transaction, you have to click a link which opens in a separate browser tab. Because Crypto Voxels in the browser, and then you actually go to their website to order. So you can't actually order in Crypto Voxels. I'm really pro cannabis. Like, we've got stupidly expensive medical cannabis in New Zealand. It's been personally amazing for me, because I don't drink anymore. Because I was drunk for the whole first 3 years of Voxels. I don't drink anymore, so I'm really pro cannabis. But New Zealand's got bullshit laws about it, so we can't be too embracing of cannabis. There won't be any transactions in world, anything like that. I'm really pro people promoting it and talking about the benefits of it, and there's downsides to it as well, of all drugs use and abuse. But you can't, it's a bit of a trick when they say you can track them well. You can click the link, goes to the website, and you can order through their normal Shopify store, as far as I can see.
Now, this right here on screen, this is another person that happens to be on this world in Voxels right now.
Yep,
Okay.
and and what you're seeing above their name. So they're an anonymous user. Well, there's someone who's logged in but hasn't
So
got
I am anonymous as well. So I would be you just seeing their Ethereum address.
Yeah, so a full anonymous person doesn't have any name. They just have this avatar, and this person's logged in with MetaMask, so you can see what the start of their Ethereum address is. Or if they had an ENS name, it'll display that ENS name as well.
Okay.
Ethereum name.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding stuff because I'm really new to the virtual worlds, and my first time going into a voxel world was Salvi's comedy verse. So, and I talked to you before we started recording. I've kind of been getting insinuations to people that I'm going to be starting a new channel with 2 other content creators potentially, and we would like to incorporate Metaverse into it. And ultimately, Crypto Voxels is on our list. So I will be talking with your partnership team and seeing what we could do to work something out where we could create maybe a podcasting studio or something like that, where people can visit. We could talk with people before and after shows and then stream our podcast inside the Voxels Metaverse, which I think is going to be a cool idea.
I think it's awesome. I think it's just such a cool way to hang out rather than I really like Twitter Spaces and I really like Twitch streams and I really like if I can, I kind of am okay with Zoom meetings. But I think doing that stuff in the metaverse as the tech gets better. So click the search button there and type Hexiosis. It's kind of one of my favorite builds. So yeah, just this little search button. Yeah, so HEXE. OS, that one there, Hexiosis Museum. Is it the museum or the gallery? I can't remember. It's just like, this is like such an old school, awesome NFT artist. Yeah, I fucking love this building. So it's just like this is Crypto Voxels from 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And I don't know, like it's shit like this is what I love. And what I also love is just the history of it, that this is a build that someone built 2 or 3 years ago on the tech. And it's crazy that we haven't got that much further since then. But, these are really old NFT gifts from an awesome artist. And yeah, like this is the kind of stuff that I like about Crypto Voxels. I was just like railing against that little space that we're in before. Cause this is like this kind of shit's, I love the shit. And like when it comes to, yeah, like this in VR, like with some beers or if you were in a country that allowed cannabis, like, man, that's a vibe. That's a real vibe. Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Yes, I am muted. I had no clue. I muted myself so you didn't hear all the clicking. This wasn't in Crypto Voxels or in Voxels that I experienced this, but there are so many interesting things about the metaverse. I was talking sort of like on lines of what you were saying, where I'm like, wow, this would be really cool with some VR goggles on some hallucinogens.
Yeah.
And
well,
check this out though. He was able to produce in the metaverse in the virtual world these mushrooms, and my character took them. It didn't actually eat the mushrooms, but it did something to make it seem like it ate the mushrooms. And within a few minutes of eating these mushrooms, it actually changed the way my view was in the metaverse world. So it almost gave me like a virtual hallucination in the world.
There was this awesome world that I can't remember the name of. One of the guys that works at Big Screen VR now started it, and it was like, I think, the coolest fucking metaverse. It was real early on the Oculus Quest, and one of the things you'd go to dance parties with it, and it wasn't kind of like real wastery. It was just kind of real nice trippy vibes, like lasers and fucking forest, like a fire in a forest and stuff, like a campfire. And yeah, and one of the things you could do is you could take these little visual things that would change your visual effect and distort how it looks. And that shit's fucking cool. And so one of the things that we do, one of the other things is this focus augmented reality headset, and you can just change the color of the entire world that you look through, like put these crazy filters, and it really changes how you look at stuff and how you see stuff. And I don't know, there's some really, really interesting stuff here, and like really good mental health stuff, I suspect as well. Just like in terms of calming people, in terms of reassuring people. And like, I don't really see how that ties into the metaverse. It's more of a VR thing, but like the metaverse is a really accessible way to find this stuff, because like you can walk from here to anywhere else in the world. versus like going to an app store. This is the thing with a metaverse, man, is like you can walk out the door and you'll find more cool art if you walk down the street. If you're in an app store, you'd be in this and then you click exit back to the menu, and then there'd be a whole bunch of grid tiles down the screen. You'd have to go down through them all and then install them and find one, and then they would all suck, and then whatever. Like a metaverse, you just walk down the street and you'll find more content. And I think that's a really cool way to explore. Totally went through several topics in that sentence, but
that's some really cool artwork in
just going and going and going. And there's like the best game to play in Voxels at the moment, because there's a really good game on Pastel at the moment, but the best game to play is to try and walk 400 meters in any direction without stopping. It's impossible, because you'll find something amazing on the way.
And you're going to want to stop and look inside.
Yeah, it really is impossible. Even if you run the whole way with your eyes closed, you're like, okay, I just got to stop and have a quick look at that. Like, yeah, see, right? What's this? You got like 50 meters.
Artwork.
Yeah.
that is really cool. So it's like now we're strolling through like a little art studio.
Yeah, and you can, and your friends can walk next to you, and then so if you hit C, you can see your avatar.
Letter C?
Yeah, okay. Letter C. So that's you.
Yeah, and so all the directions are right here in front of me. I guess I could follow those.
Yeah, and you can close that window and stuff as well. But the art in Voxels that's what makes it, man. Like I love this stuff.
Now, once you have a not an anonymous character, your avatar wouldn't look as plain like this. You could design your avatar a little bit more, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so we intentionally made, sort of intentionally, yeah. Like, so we ended up with this art person avatar, and what I wanted them is to not have an identity. So it's a person. It's a woman or a man or an agented person or a robot or whatever it is. It's a you exist, but you don't have a set identity, and it's got like a woman's kind of walking gait and stuff. Like it's not a big staunch dude walking. And the thing is so that everyone exists. So you've got crowds of people that exist, but it's not like segmenting people. So when you start to decorate your avatar, you can be anything. You can be like a warrior with swords and hats, or you can be like a fucking space alien, or you can be like a cloud of ether or whatever. So you can, like, it's really hard to decorate your avatar because we suck at programming, but you can do amazing stuff. Look at this shit.
I know, I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is wild, man. You got some very creative people. I don't know who these individual creators are. I love this piece of artwork, though.
Isn't it? It's just so cool, eh? It's just so cool. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, yeah,
I could spend forever just like you were saying, just kind of like just exploring and looking at all the creativity of people.
And the thing is, you recognize some of the artists, like that woman doing the fingers over to the left there. That's some kind of famous NFT, I'm pretty sure, because I see that all around the place.
Yeah, and it looks familiar. I'm not sure the artist's name.
Yeah.
What does this say over here? Now I got to go all the way. There's a big old eyeball. This says hidden entrance. Entrances. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. I want to stop.
I know exactly right. Like it's just like that.
Limited.
Yeah. I've got to get back to it. We're organizing some crypto stuff today and a bunch of graphic stuff. So, and then I'm moving 2 cubic meters of dirt around the back of the building.
One other thing that I meant to mention, it's funny that you said that, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of the interview. When I was looking up your name in a Google search, I saw that you came up under, and I can't share it unless I'm subscribed, but you're in the Fortune, and I'm assuming it's Nifty 50.
Yeah.
You're like number 26 or 36 or something like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's so cool. I was so stoked when they put me in there and rang me and interviewed me about that. And they asked for some referrals, and I was like, Josie Bellini and some other people who were in there before the NFT scene before me, and like kind of like introduced me to it. And I was so
awesome.
stoked.
I love her.
Yeah, she's fucking so cool. Yeah, Andrew and stuff. Yeah.
Let me go back to the screen because I'm not subscribed to Fortune. Let me look at it the first time, but when I went to go back and view it, it wouldn't show me any further. But ranked number 26, Ben Nolan, Nolan, 50, the founder of Voxels, formerly Crypto Voxels. Congratulations, homie.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome. And that was the old office. Like, we used to share this co-working space. We had like a desk in the corner of this place where all these students learned to program. And the roof leaked and the floor was soggy. And every time I had to walk into my desk, I had to like interrupt the really expensive fancy developer we had from Google, so he could push his seat in so I could squeeze through to get into my seat. And I was like, okay, we really need to move. And then Mark renamed his company, and everything went fucking nuts for us. And so we made a whole bunch of money. And then we bought this building that we're in now, which is this old cool brick pub in the city. which leaks a little bit, but less than the old place. And
you in New Zealand?
Like, yeah, in New Zealand, in Wellington, and it's yeah, it's just it's but like that was the thing that was really good about Crypto Voxels. Crypto Voxels is still awesome, but it's partly that 3 years of working in that co-working space, like just me in the corner by a desk by myself, and then eventually 4 or 5 of us, and all these students that were, earning like $17 an hour and like saving up to do this programming course, and cooking their own food and all that kind of stuff. And it kept us very real. And moving into this new office has been amazing. We've got way more space for video capture stuff and volumetric video stuff and fucking lasers and fucking testing shit. It's amazing. It's been really, really good for us. But, like you do kind of forget where you came from a bit. And so really trying to reconnect to that. And that's...
It sounds like you have, man. It's just a matter of like just showing that, from this point forward, what's going on.
Well, and I was just talking to my psychologist yesterday about it. Is like, if things go really nuts again next year, how are you going to remember this? And like, part of it is like, we get heaps of graffiti on the outside of the building, and some of it I like and some of it's fucking have. And so I was like, I'm an expensive CEO, man. I need to go pay a man to paint over the graffiti. It's like, well, no, I really like that rabbit that's out there, and I don't particularly like these tags. So I'm going to go buy some thick white paint from the hardware store, and I'm going to fucking paint it, because I'm not so fucking important and fucking highly paid and shit that I can't go do that shit. Like, we have to move, all this fucking soil around the back of the garden there. And so I'm just going to do that with me and Will in a wheelbarrow, because it's going to rain tomorrow. And it's like, it's funny because I feel like that's bad for the community, right? Like, I should be fucking out there doing partnerships and fucking getting graphics programmers and writing hardcore algorithms. But it's like, no, I need to stay who I am so that we can, I don't know, I've been talking at my ass, but yeah, I don't know.
No, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, man. And I appreciate you open up on that, because I mean, when you're focused on something that you're passionate about, it shows. And when you're focused on money, it shows.
Yeah.
And if you're doing your project the right way, and your passion is coming through, then the other parts are going to kind of follow suit along with it. So it's you don't have to chase the money. The money's, you can already see. I mean, you already know the hype around virtual reality and metaverses. So, I mean, you guys are in a very good place. Just, I would recommend maybe some, aside from like the graffiti stuff, I mean, you could do like personal affirmation notes. Make sure that daily you're waking up and saying these things to remind yourself, so you stay on track. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do personally to keep your mindset in the right direction. And then also make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that aren't like yes men, people that will actually say, hey, Benno, I think you're starting to lose a little focus here. You need to get realigned. Surrounding yourself with the right people, I think, is another important way of moving forward. Just a little advice.
No, that's really good. Like, I really like that. And we've got this really nice booth downstairs. I'm gonna go put a bell of mindfulness in it and stuff. And if people want to meditate a little bit, that's another thing. Like, that old office where all the students were, it fucked me off so much, because every Tuesday and Thursday we got kicked out of our desks for an hour at lunchtime so they could go do yoga in the middle of the room. And it drove me fucking nuts, because I'd come in hungover, because it's back when I drunk, at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I'd go to sit down. They'd be like, no, you got to go out. We're going to do yoga for an hour. And I was like, fuck. But the thing is, it was amazing. There was a real good vibe. It made everyone realize that your mental health and your soul is way more important than all this other shit. And it's like, and it is, because all of this stuff's a walking race. It's not a sprint. Oh, you muted again.
Yeah, I did that again, man. I have a really bad habit of that. I need to try my best to make sure I'm catching it a little bit better. I apologize. I try to mute so that nothing else comes through. What I was going to say was, I do appreciate you being transparent and sharing all that information. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or anything that you would like to add in regards to Voxels, or anything you want to share with folks before we do close today's interview?
No, that was a really nice conversation with you. I wasn't gonna say anything. I love your studio fit out. Like, I fucking love the graffiti on the wall and the bricks and the art there. That's totally my aesthetic.
I love it, man. Thank you. I really appreciate the compliment, man. And hopefully we could do a follow-up as we see some more progress and some different things happening, some big news, with what's going on. And if there is something that comes out of a partnership with this podcast and with Voxels, I'll definitely update people and let everyone know. So
yeah, and if you guys are in World, I'll come to you to come talk with you in World. That'd be really cool.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. So bear with me 1 second while I just wrap up the recording. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have everything that we shared on screen and we talked about linked in today's video description. So be sure to check all that out. If you're interested in building on Voxels, it's really simple. I think you can do some free building. So check that out. I was showing a little bit of their sandbox where you can go in there and do some building and kind of explore a little bit. You can use the services. You can get into Metaverse into what they're doing without an account, doing it anonymously by connecting your MetaMask wallet like I did. So consider checking it out. This is your first time watching any of my videos. I'd encourage you to make sure you explore my channel, be subscribed, and I will leave you with this. Be blessed, be the change, practice change. And I'll see you on the next show.